Hello and welcome to this week's Goddess Asteroid podcast. My name is Alison. I'm a astrologer that specializes in goddess asteroids, and I'm also Gene Keys guide. So I'm bringing here a synthesis of what's going on in astrology and what gene keys they're connected to. So this is more about understanding world events or the bigger cosmic patterns. But of course, these will interact with you directly in your chart. So if you know you have some of these gene keys, then they will be activated at the moment. So today, Monday, the 7th of December, is a really special day. Because we have what's called the 8th chakra gate. So this is the Star Chakra opening gate in the Venus evening star ascending process. So she rises higher and higher and higher up into the heavens. So this is her highest point she's reaching now. And then she's going to head towards, in the next month, her meeting with the Sun in the inferior conjunction. She's also going to go retrograde on the 19th, 20th of December, so totally coinciding with the winter solstice. It's going to be a really powerful Venus retrograde through Capricorn. This cycle. So let me share my screen and show you what I mean by this 8th gate. So in each of the cycles, when Venus is the morning star, she is literally rising in the morning in the east, and then in her evening star phase she's setting she's rising in the west in the evening. And to ancient peoples and also to ourselves, the energy of these phases is really different. So, the evening star, if you're born with Venus evening star, you tend to be much more emotionally reflective, learning from what's gone on before. And if you are Venus morning star, you are kind of spontaneous and fresh, and you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you have quite a lot of emotional resilience actually when you're a morning star person. So this can shape us quite a lot, and Venus is about our feelings, our values, at a very deep level, imprints us in the way that we do things, what feels good to us, what we perceive as beautiful. Our sexuality is really linked to Venus, how we feel about our body and our sexuality. So she's very important. So let me show you where she is at the moment. So every month Venus has a meeting with the moon. If you imagine the moon is going round the zodiac very quickly compared to everything else. It's not actually going round the zodiac, it's going round the earth, but when we look out at different places of where the moon is, the different zodiac signs are behind that. So you had these portal gates. They're really beautiful because the moon is the goddess energy. It's everything of the divine feminine potential is contained within the moon and the mother energy. And then Venus is the lover energy. And she, as I say, she's about our sexuality, about our feelings about our body, our feelings about other people, what we enjoy. So She's a really important planet, and when we get these two coming together, they're called Kumari Kessers, and it's a really positive energy. And as I say, this is called the Star Chakra, the 8th ascending gate. Okay, and here we have, they're both at 23 degrees of Capricorn, 37 minutes. And this is in Gene Key 61. It's a very activated Gene Key at the moment because Pluto is there. Pluto is moved super slowly, so Pluto's going to be there in 61. I think it's till March 2023. And so we've got this powerful energy. So today we've got the Moon and Venus at 61, which is in the 4th line, which is the heart chakra line. And then we have Pluto in the 6th line, which is the Ajna center line. So we've got this powerful activation. So the key words for 61 is the shadow of psychosis. And it certainly feels like a big shadow in the world at the moment with Pluto there as well. This is a really activated shadow. And if we look at stuff around the pandemic, is, you know, whatever way you look at it, it's really stressful situation for people. And one of the responses to stress can be psychosis, i.e. your perception goes a bit haywire. And yeah, and this is more referring to a collective psychosis, though I worked in recovery in mental health for many years, and certainly psychosis as in hearing voices or that kind of thing. In virtually everyone I met, you could find was linked to some kind of serious trauma that they had been through, and that the psychosis was a way of coping. So it's a shadow, but we've got to be kind of compassionate and understanding of where that shadow comes from. So the gift here is inspiration. You know, how do we inspire people? What inspires us? You know, inspiration is a feeling of lightness, and direction as well. You know, when something inspires us, then we can often find our purpose and our direction again. I was recently really inspired by the film Harriet, about Harriet Tubman. And a friend today, I was telling her about Harriet, and she was saying the book about Crazy Horse, you'd think might be psychotic, but not. And the book about Crazy Horse is one of the most inspiring books she's ever read about staying on your path. So perhaps there's a message there, you know, perhaps whoever's inspiring us is showing us something about our path and purpose for being here on this earth. And then the city is sanctity, and there's a mudra for this, which I'm going to be doing a 40-day mudra of the Capricorn keys, and it's called the sheltered place, this mudra, and the sanctity of the body. So it feels like a really beautiful city of, you know, deep honoring of the body, the sacred space of the body, that Venus and the moon here are pulling us towards, and pulling us out of psychosis, which Pluto can definitely generate that kind of energy. But can we dance with Pluto? Can we use that power for inspiration and transformation rather than psychosis and and aggression and manipulation and even violence you can have with Pluto. Okay, so who else is in Capricorn? There's so much activity going on in Capricorn in the next 3 months. It really is the sign to watch. Yes, so if you are any of the cardinal signs, i.e. Libra, Aries or Cancer, this is going to affect you a lot because you've got the opposition and the square to those. But it's going to affect everyone. But if you have those signs, you know, you're going to feel this even more. Okay, so then we have Astraea here. She is the goddess seeding the new golden age. She's about increasing our subtle awareness. You know, she's about this, what they call the 10th body. And this 10th body is what allows us to live like almost like effortlessly in synchronicity with the whole of life and really relax into the flow of life. So she's in Gene Key 54, line 5. Now the big imprinting of Venus by the Sun is going to take place in 54, line 4. So this gene key is super important for the next 18-month cycle. So the shadow of this gene key is greed, and this is something hot-wired into our chemistry, that we kind of long for more, we hunger for things, you know. I can't think of any human being on this earth that's never experienced greed. It really is part of us. And if we look at the bigger picture, certainly in terms of the environment, you know, this is one of the shadows that is really driving us towards destruction if we allow this greed just to kind of completely rule and dominate us. So how do we get out of it? Well, the gift of this gene key offers us a doorway out of greed, and that's to aspiration. So one of the lovely examples Richard Rudd gives is that rather than just desiring to make money for ourselves, what we could aspire to is to make money for our whole community, like to improve prosperity. Maybe even money's too narrow way to look at it, but to improve the prosperity of our community, our friends, our family, and immediately that takes us out of that shadow of greed and into like a much bigger vision, it feels like, when we have that gift of aspiration. And then finally we have the city of Ascension. So it's very interesting, I think, because the whole New Age movement is essentially aiming for ascension. But the more I get into this gene key, the more I think, it's a Capricorn gene key, so it's very grounded, the Capricorn energy. You know, it's about the penetration of spirit into matter. This is what we are talking about here. It's very linked to Kundalini yoga tradition as well, which isn't everybody's path, but I think it shows that Ascension is maybe like a group of people who are going to open those doorways for many other people on the earth. But Ascension certainly is about, you know, sometimes it feels like it's been about escaping the body, like being up there somewhere. You know, maybe even though this is the Star Chakra, we need to remember that it's got to be connected to the Earth Chakra as well, the root chakra, and below that through the whole chakra system, connecting us to the universe and into the earth. So our job is to live here in the material level and to not be afraid of that, to not try and escape it, and to embrace this energy of aspiration for ourselves and others. You know, it's a kind of a fine line between greed and aspiration, but I feel like as soon as you kind of allow yourself to grow and flower, you're in that aspiration, and you can wish that for other people. You know, you don't have to necessarily wait for them or whatever, you know, but you can wish in your heart for everyone to grow in prosperity together, and kind of let go of that sort of greed. Has quite a grasping energy, doesn't it? Okay, so the final asteroid I'm going to talk about today is also in Capricorn, and this is in gene key 58, line 5. So this is another one that's really connected with the body, the 58. And it's got the shadow of dissatisfaction. So this can be really connected with greed, I think. You know, it's like, well, I haven't had enough. I haven't had enough. You're not enough. This isn't enough. And trying to get more and more to kind of fill this void inside ourselves. But when we go deeper, what we get is vitality. You know, vitality is spirit moving freely through the body. That is when you get really amazing vitality and radiance. And then the city of this is bliss, which is, I think, really something you feel with your whole body. You feel blissful, you know, and I know for me that can definitely be triggered by food. Whenever I think of strawberries, strawberry is something that, you know, if I eat a strawberry mindfully, that can definitely trigger bliss, for sure. Yeah, so it feels very much kind of connected with our senses, in some way, that city of bliss. But if we tip over into greed, and then dissatisfaction, you know, it's like almost allowing ourselves the pleasure of that moment in bliss. So this moment in time. This is one of the pointers in Capricorn. As I mentioned, the Venus retrograde starts at winter solstice, and actually on New Year's Eve there's a huge lineup again in Capricorn, and Venus actually comes back to this place in Capricorn, again conjunct Pluto. So that's going to be another powerful moment in time. And then the next Venus gate, Venus moon gate, is at 22 Capricorn. That's in the early January, just leading up to the inferior conjunction on the 9th of January 2022. So if Lady Venus is calling you, I'm going to, it's already initiated a Venus Moon temple on this beautiful high vibe online platform called Soul Tribe. There's a number of really excellent Kundalini yoga teachers who set this up, and I'm the astrologer there. I've kind of landed in this wonderful place. So it feels like a really perfect place to explore this coming Venus cycle through ceremony, through contemplation of the gene keys and the parts of the zodiac that that Venus will be in the next 18 months. So it's a subscription program. At the moment it's $29.99. Is going to go up slightly in the near future when the new website is coming online. So join up soon, definitely by winter solstice. If you would like the kind of full information about that, please email me at astroalison@gmail.com. I'll put that underneath the video. And I also offer one-to-one readings. So if you want to find out how all of this is affecting you personally, especially if you are any of the cardinal signs, it's really going to be strong. But it is going to affect us, and maybe you're just feeling this call to really attune yourself to Venus and the moon this year, in which case, you know, this will be a really brilliant program. It's an hour a week live calls, and they're on an archive if you can't make the exact time. So yeah, so thank you for listening, and namaste. Go in peace. Happy week ahead. Bye.